Of course I am. Of course we are.
You were born ready.
Yes, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Balcony Banter on this Wednesday, 2nd of June, where I'm at. I'm right here. I don't think... I maybe I'll put a thing on it there. Let's see if there's anybody online. Loads of people.
Because we're late. It's not our fault. Cheers, everybody.
They're saying Tim's selecting the wine. Tim is selecting the wine. There you go.
He selected
so,
it.
oh, my little dead cat's in the frame.
So good selection, like Tim.
There you go. I didn't select nothing. In fact, I'm drinking alcohol-free tonight. Okay, so tonight we have with us, let me just go to here, cross dissolve, and we'll dissolve to CLIO first.
Hi, everybody.
CLIO's back with us this week.
Dun, da, da.
Excellent, and we also have my favourite wife, the current wife, Christina, and Juliane. I'm not sure whether your microphone's too high. Did I put your microphone too high this week?
No, I just put it down a little bit.
No, I meant the
Stiel.
The Stiel, because people can't see you.
No?
No,
this one is... Okay.
Right, oof, off. Poor Tim.
Technical is not...
No.
Okay.
You want to do yours as well?
Do I? Okay? Maybe nobody needs to see my face. They just want to hear my voice.
I've got you from the side, so that's okay.
I beg your pardon.
Okay.
I beg your pardon.
So we should do this before we go live, really. But
yeah, but we never do.
But I'd like you to see, the hassle,
the real deal,
the hassle that we go through
to be with you.
We have fun getting there, When MNSBC, NB Fox buy this program, this has to be part of it.
Yeah.
MSNBC, LWMST. There you go.
Yeah. In Cincinnati.
So the thing is, if I look this way, I'm actually looking out of the frame, which is weird. I'm actually looking directly at CLIO now.
Okay.
And now I'm looking at the girls. So that looks okay, but it's you that's...
Okay. Well, I've always been slightly out of sync. It's my life story. It's fine.
So what we're actually going to do, is we're going to go 4 up and go 1, 2, 3, and then I'll pick something.
It's like the National Lottery here live, isn't it?
Hey.
And the sun's back out.
Yeah, so that picture actually is not today, so don't worry, but I'm going to leave that. So I'm looking, oh no, I've done it wrong again. Bear with me, ladles and jelly spoons, bear with me. So who's going to be in top right? Top right is going to be the girls, top left, sorry. Top left the girls, then top right Tim, and then CLIO down the bottom left, and then
I like being on the left.
And then the balcony. There you go. We're going to wait for this to do again. This is the long version. Oh, this is the long version. I like this version.
3 minutes later.
You're attracting the sun.
I am. This is our personal...
It's our signature tune.
There you go.
That was a fade.
It was a terrible fade, wasn't it? A terrible fade. A fade terrible.
Une fade terrible.
So let's see what these are saying. Hello, sunny all day in Halifax. Good evening and wonderful people. Only 9 days left until we are in Tenerife for 10 days.
Ta-da!
Says Tony Plant. There you go, Tony. So, Tony Plant, I'm having a sin. There you go.
Sin with Tim.
Sin with Tim.
Tim's sin.
Actually, I'm selling that as an excursion.
Really?
Sin with Tim.
Right. That's the After Hours show.
The After Hours show. I've got to watch my own advert here. No, let's turn this down. There you go. Oh, that looks good. Okay, ladies and jelly spoons, here we are on the balcony with Balcony Banter with Timothy Dowd, Christina Dowd, Juliane NENDEL, and CLIO O'Flynn.
Ta-da!
And if anybody's coming in, Tim, it wouldn't be the same if you were organised and ready to go.
No, it would be boring,
It's your
dull.
trademark. It's your trademark. So Daniel said he might pop in, but no, he doesn't have to if he's not got time. But he said he might, so I've turned the room on for him. And Ian said he might also pop in.
Okay.
And anybody who wants to talk about the topic today can pop in. The way I'm screening it at the moment is you go to timothydown.com/live and press the button. And if I like the look of you, I'll bring you in. And if I don't, I won't.
There you go.
So,
And you control the mute.
If we like your first impression.
yeah, first
You
impression.
control the
And
vertical and the horizontal.
She was so good there. You see what she did there? You segued into the topic tonight. And the topic tonight is first impressions. Do we still need to look good? What do you mean still?
Still.
We always do.
Yeah, well, we are, yardsticks here.
Yeah. And also, we've decided to start with that because I usually take over with COVID and all the bad stuff, and then the last 5 minutes we end up talking about this thing. And then so I've decided this week, and as of last week, because last week was really successful, one of our most successful balcony banters from the feedback here. So we're going to start that off today. So the thing today is first impressions. Do we still need them? Are they important? Do you still use them? That type of thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to hand over now to the girls, all of you guys, and to discuss that for a second while I go and sort the food out.
Yes, and this topic was suggested by.
I wrote it down on a thing.
I think it was some Neil.
Neil
and his wife.
Yeah, it begins with an S. I wrote it down.
Susan?
No.
No.
Oh, I can get it here, I think.
Okay. Well, anyway,
can't.
They suggested a few topics, and
They
I
did.
thought that's brilliant because very important topic, I think. And I wanted to ask. Oh, I got an anecdote actually.
An anecdote.
About our first impression.
That was quite strong, wasn't it?
I mean, I was actually thinking about it, and I was glad that you.
I don't think we've ever talked about it.
That you came on today, so that's a brilliant topic to actually
That's interesting.
talk about
Yeah.
it, because CLIO and I, we met the first time we met, not here on Balcony Banter.
No,
it was at an
a
event.
fashion swap, a sustainable fashion swap event.
Exactly, and it was a workshop. I did a workshop there called "Go Love Yourself."
Yeah.
And there at the same time was another workshop going on by Concepto Yoga, and we did such a fun exercise.
It was great.
Yeah, so we were
We
building.
impacted.
We were building a team, CLIO and I.
Well, we were asked, if I remember correctly, because the room was about 20 people,
Yes.
and most of them had never met each other before, and you had to sit in front of somebody and kind of create your first impressions.
Exactly.
Talk about what you thought about them, and they had to tell you about them. So you and I basically kind of sized each other up, looked at each other,
Yes.
and I think we both kind of felt, okay, she's interesting. I know I did anyway. I thought, okay, this is somebody I want to actually. No, there was none of that. I'm not that kind of woman. I mean, maybe 20 years ago. But it was like,
good.
okay, I want to find out more. And the next time we met was here.
Exactly. No, but this exercise was a really good icebreaker in the sense of getting to know somebody, and actually it was a mirror exercise. So we had to write down how we see or perceive the other person,
Yep.
without actually knowing that person. So that was writing down the first impression.
True.
And then afterwards, I would tell you what I had written down, and I didn't lie at all. So
I didn't.
No.
And I think we were both quite close.
Yes, exactly. And it was quite surprising, and you felt quite positively surprised.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
And it was really an impactful.
Yes,
exercise.
because what it did show me, and this kind of dips right into it, is that even though you might think about the first impression you're going to make, quite often how you perceive yourself is very, very different from how others perceive you,
Yes.
especially when you're not trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
So,
you saw more positives in me than I think I thought I was projecting.
yeah. So, I mean, it tells a lot also about how we think about ourselves,
Yeah.
and how we are perceived by the external
And how much we
outside world.
care about it too,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. So what does that tell us? I mean, oftentimes we easily judge others, but also oftentimes we judge ourselves, our own selves, and very strongly sometimes.
And is it, I mean, do you think people make a first impression, for instance, about you or about you, Christine? I mean, with you, do you think people now make their impression because you're in a wheelchair or because you have MS? Do you imagine that that's the first impression people are going to have of you?
I think they just put me in the box straight away. MS.
And that's it. She has MS.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that would never be how I would describe you.
Yeah. But then it's, I think, important to maybe go from first impression to second impression
As well.
because and that takes time, and also your own volunteer behavior, I guess, in a sense of getting to know the other person a little bit more in depth.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
making the effort to maybe build a relationship or to listen to that certain somebody. And I had a very good impression about you.
Thank you.
But then it came.
Then
No,
you met
no,
Tim.
no.
But yeah.
But the thing is that Christine, she's always that sweet, and she's smiling and all that, and I know that she has such a dark sense of humor sometimes that I'm like, oh, Christine, you are very in German you would say stille Wasser sind tief.
Oh, the
So,
same in English. Still waters run deep.
That's it. And Christine definitely is one of those.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is a compliment.
Exactly. Yeah.
and I mean,
it
I
is
think-
a compliment.
You know, it is important that, but you only, I think, maybe are interested in the second impression if you've already been impacted by the first one.
Yeah.
Especially if it's more than visual.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I know as I get older,
Yeah.
I don't, if somebody is going to judge me only on my appearance, they're not somebody I'm interested in knowing anyway. I mean, and I don't wear as much makeup as I do. COVID is one of the reasons, because I'm not going to wear makeup to work and then wear a mask on it,
Yeah.
you know. And also you live in Tenerife, you tend to dress differently.
Then-
You
Yeah.
prepare yourself differently when you go to work every day. I mean, I walked in here today and I hadn't changed out of my work clothes, and you guys normally don't see me in my work clothes.
No.
And you were kind of going, oh, wow.
Wow.
But I mean, so I like to present a sharper, more professional image when I go to work every day.
Yeah.
And then when I come home, normally I put on dressed down clothes, relaxed clothes, and I don't even think about it anymore. My wardrobe's in two. I have my workday clothes and I have my weekend or after work clothes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even strike me. But sorry, I'm rambling. Back to what I was saying. I think looking for a second impression
Yeah.
is because of the first impression, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you think someone is superficial and probably going to be boring if you want to get to know them, you're not going to pursue it. And you might be wrong, but
Yeah, I mean, I dropped this kind of thinking years ago, many years ago, because I believe it's worthwhile giving people, a second chance or to get engaged in conversation. And I'm very much a people person, so I like to actually have deeper conversations and conversations with people, and not just small talk. But everyone is different, and gotta respect everyone, how they like to behave, and that's fine. Yeah.
and has it ever happened the other way around? It has to me, that you think someone is nice, your first impression is really good, and so you make the decision to spend more time with them to
Yeah.
discover that actually they're not who they present themselves
it
at all.
happens all the time. But then, and that's
Story of my life, that is.
and that's funny actually. That
You still haven't kicked us out, though.
that's funny what you said earlier on about the visual impact is like the first impression. I would say I personally believe in there's an external impression and there's an internal impression you make, and I would like to call this internal impression your own intuition.
Okay.
That's something when I meet someone, I like to also tune into my own intuition, how I feel about
Of course.
about that person, and I can make a difference and feel attitude.
Yeah. So
Right?
you're feeling
So-
you're kind of feeding off the energy that they're giving out.
So maybe somebody say is dressed not dressed up or whatever, looks quite I don't
Scruffy
or whatever, that is secondary. If I can sense a positive attitude,
Okay.
then,
I get you.
then that makes up for it a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear some comments?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
go on.
Okay, here we,
We love
go.
having
the
you
first
engaging.
impression of your conversation is bad.
So I'm going from the bottom to the top, so the people who commented last will be read out first.
Said the Lord. or
Said the
something.
Lord. The first will be the last. My first impression of the balcony team was, what have we got here? And my impression now is, what a team. Ian Miller.
Wow,
thank
thank
you,
you,
Ian.
and thanks again for a lovely topic last week.
My son has been looked down on all his life. He too walks. He toe walks, but believe me, he has coped really well. He is a very positive attitude, JJ.
Oh, great.
Nice one, JJ.
That's good.
Okay. Zelda, I've been in a wheelchair to get out and about over the last 5 weeks and quite surprised how people have reacted to me checking with my husband rather than me first impression. That's
remember
exactly what happens, yeah.
The Radio 4 program years ago, BBC Radio 4 had a program called Does He Take Sugar? And it was that. It was all about that kind of...
Because Tim Woman says, she can talk. Ask her.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Or I'll just say, if they just say, does she want cake? I'll just say no.
But I'll have 2 slices,
Well, she says, yeah.
which is when Christine leaves.
Okay, been lovely today with lovely sunshine, okay. That's,
Yeah.
if you've asked a really poignant question and I've missed it, first impression, your mic is too low, says Mr. Goody. I'm assuming you're talking to me, Mr. Goody.
The sun's in my eyes, so I can't get any closer.
Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put the thing down, shall
Would
we?
you mind?
Yeah.
I don't
Would
mind,
you
that's all.
mind?
So you carry on, ladies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, can I mention one of our regular viewers? Because we were
Yes,
talking about
please.
her. A woman called Diane Cunningham Parotta, who's in Brooklyn. And her question is quite relevant because she was asking about how does becoming part of a Tenerife community, she wants to move here and become part of a community.
Yeah.
So obviously, she will be wondering about the first impression that she will be giving out when she moves here. And we must all have... Did you worry about that when you moved here first? Did you try and create an impression that would attract people to you or that would help you find your way here in Tenerife?
Well, I moved here in 2003, and that's we're talking about in times when internet was not like so so predominant as now. So it was much more focused on work and
I was
and
the
making
same.
contact with clients and all that. But Diane, with her goal to come move here, I think she already did a very good start, because now we're talking about offline and online making an impression. And her first
that's a very good point.
and she did something what in my opinion was a very good move to make. She made some good questions. She put up some good questions, already making first contact, and that is excellent. So very proactive.
And she's
actually.
engaging. And
Yes.
again, I mean, she's engaging with the local community
Yeah.
here, which again is back to what first impressions are
Yeah.
about, aren't they?
Yes.
Because, again, to me, making a good impression is not just about how people see you, but it's about whether people engage with
Yeah,
you. And you only
absolutely.
engage with someone that you feel there might be a connection with.
Yes, yes.
And again, that's an age, that's something for me anyway, that came with age, with growing up a little bit, with realising that other people were more interesting than I was sometimes, but that I might be interesting to them, but that it has to be two ways.
Exactly.
It has to be a two-way thing.
Absolutely, and I think that it's a good way how she goes about it, and with that kind of positive attitude to already engage and find out more about the island, watch Tim's videos or other vlogs. I think that's a perfect way to be interested and curious about where
Yeah.
you want to be going.
It's very true what you
Yeah.
say, because I mean, I moved here as well in '99, but I'd never thought your online first impression these days,
Yes.
especially for younger kids. I mean,
Absolutely.
that their online
Yeah.
online first impressions are so important, maybe too important.
I truly believe that nowadays it's so crucial, and it's like you cannot really draw a line anymore between online and offline. What you give out offline needs to be in tune and aligned with your offline.
So you shouldn't create an online personality that doesn't reflect who you really are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I mean,
But isn't that the whole point?
Maybe it was in the past, but you'll be found out too quickly now. That's the thing,
exactly.
isn't it?
I think I mean it really is hard to cover up all that transparency. So it gives you a harder time to cover it up.
Yeah, because you're going to
And-
spend the rest of your life living a lie.
Exactly, and it makes your life really miserable.
Linda Tyler says, first watch of Balcony Banter, I felt like it was old friends having a catch-up.
Aww.
Oh.
Well, it is.
Yay!
Linda, welcome to being
Thank you.
an old friend.
My closest friends are the people I didn't like on first impression, says Dawn.
There you
That's
go.
Very,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Chris and me.
There you go.
Who's that dirty guy that doesn't?
Yeah. When are you going to
doesn't
make
iron his
friends,
shirts?
actually?
Ian Miller saying professional experience, CLIO. I don't know what then that is in relation to.
Okay.
Professional experience, CLIO. Maybe you're talking about when you first came here.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm reading these later, so if there's something that you're going to say, if you comment and it's relevant when you're writing it, you need to just give us a little bit of background about what it's about, just in case.
Regarding the stupid thing that Cleo said 10 minutes ago.
We've hit the like button because we genuinely like the show and the company, says Peter and Shell. Oh, that is
Thank
nice.
you.
You know, a lot of
Thank
people,
you.
a lot of the things, I forget to say hit the like button and subscribe and all that, because I think that we've got a community here now that is working. And if people drop in and have a cup of tea with us,
More or less. Or a glass of wine.
and they like the stuff, then they're going to stick around anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
And hopefully come back.
yeah, and if you have been sticking around and you're not subscribed, then subscribing does help, and also you get notifications if we do something different. So, but you know where we are. It's
Yeah.
5:55 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wednesday Balcony Banter is it's one of my favourite shows because it's the one where I'm not on all the time, and I like that. I do like that. Although I do like being star of the show, obviously.
You are.
We have kind of got that first impression
I know.
of
That
you.
was the first
so.
impression. So that's why I'm trying to lay back a little bit. There you go.
No, it's not the same without you,
The
Tinnekins.
Monday was started off as Mystery Monday, where we go somewhere. Then Christina says, I don't really want to go out on a Monday that much. So I turned it into Lederhosen Challenge. But basically, it's just me going somewhere and having beers. But now I'm not drinking during the week, as you probably noticed. Then I might change that as well. But I don't know what I'm going to change it to. It'll still be Lederhosen Challenge, but I'll be doing something else.
Okay.
And the Freaky Friday was just for me, where I go and have a beer at the German bar. But that's turned now into going out for tapas. just me and Chris.
So it's Tapas Friday.
It's Tapas Friday now, so it's still going to be
Very
Freaky
nice.
Friday, but it's basically that's the one day of the week where we're going to eat. But because we went
But
out,
so you don't eat any other day of the week,
we don't eat any other day of the week. No.
and you are still having problems with the Lederhosen challenge.
Uh-huh.
There
And
are
Elton,
questions to be asked.
We got Maria Albanos. I agree with Clio. The way you get your first impression changes with age. Oh, there you go. And first impressions can be deceptive. This is Anne Elton, or Anne Marie Elton now because she was hacked.
Oh, all right.
She's changed. First impressions can be deceptive until you know more about a person. You should never judge them. Always try to be kind and see the real person before judging.
Yeah.
I judge
true.
immediately.
Do you? You make,
I
you
judge
make first
immediately,
judgment.
but I don't. Yeah, I do. I don't know whether that's a failing now.
And have you? I mean, yeah, that's just.
I've been
how
pleasantly.
You are.
I've been pleasantly surprised lots of times.
By
Have you
that you've been wrong.
Yeah, and
That's
also
it.
there's the other way around where they've looked really nice
yeah.
and they've ended up being armholes.
Yeah, well, it's what we were saying, isn't it?
Armchair.
Yeah, armchairs. And it is, I mean, I suppose, again, maybe age,
Yeah.
certainly when I was younger, I was anxious to perhaps, I mean, when I was living in Dublin, I was working in radio and television, and so running with a particular kind of crowd.
Yeah.
And, you know, you were probably making a first impression as part of a particular gang as well.
True.
And so everything that happened was, whoops, I just banged the mic, was probably coloured by the job I did,
Right.
which was quite public, and the people I was hanging out with and the clubs I was going to. And one of the reasons I loved coming here was that there were no expectations, and I didn't class anybody. I didn't say they belong to that particular group, or this person is part of that job section or that educational section. Because, I mean, if Ireland has a snobbery, I would say it's possibly education based.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think in Britain it was where you lived.
Yeah, in
was
Ireland
sort
to
of-
a certain extent, but also what you did.
Yeah, I suppose, in Germany there's an old advert saying, this is my house, this is my car, this is my boat. And basically that defines the person there. But I've never gone in with a crowd. I've always created the crowd around me.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I could fit into any crowd and be
That's what he thinks.
You are shaped.
No,
I'm
I'm
joking. No, you can,
But
obviously.
I can fit
yeah.
into any crowd. But I'm always the outsider in the crowd, if you like. So
Yeah.
I'm the consigliere
Yeah.
in certain crowds, right? I'm the comedian in another crowd.
Yeah.
So I have a different personality depending on who I'm with.
So that's a good thing, because you are adapting quite.
I'm just an actor.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
I
But I really
do you know
don't
what's
know what the
gonna
real me
happen,
is.
Tim?
I don't know what the real me is.
I mean, I think maybe we're all similar in that way. And sometimes I think that I am defining myself within a crowd.
Yeah.
And then you go somewhere and people introduce you as something that you thought, that's
didn't-
how they see me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm that.
Nobody-
I'm that in this crowd. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that'll happen sometimes, and you'll be taken by surprise
Yeah.
because
This is the interrupter, the Clio the interrupter,
That's right, the great interrupter. Please.
the great interrupter.
No, I mean recently. Okay,
We
well,
all-
I
there you
killed that.
go.
Sorry about that.
We all got our multiple
Yeah.
identities.
I was judging a talent competition recently, and I thought I was there because I was somebody's mom, and it was, and on our jury it's Clio from the Adecca Council. And I thought, oh, that's the hat I'm supposed to be wearing today.
Not the mum,
okay.
yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, all right then. And I think that's my role.
What's your role, Chris? Well, can't get a word in edgeways. Well, thank you very much for
I
that.
don't have really rules.
You don't have roles?
It changes every day how I feel. Most of the times it happens when I have a nice dream, I feel good.
All right. You didn't have a nice dream last night, did you? Or was it the night before?
Huh? Night before I
Night
had
before.
a bad dream.
Really.
She had a nightmare.
But I always think of you as our moderator as well, Chris.
Yes.
I
Really?
like bouncing things off you.
And you have a fabulous intuition, and that's a very
does.
good sense for getting the first impression. Yeah.
I'm going to read a couple of things out now. Julie Mazurki says, Matsurki says, unfortunately, I say what I think. I'm from Yorkshire. Most people's first impression of me stays with them. But if you want to buy a dress or want an honest opinion, ask me and I'll be honest.
Okay.
That is a double-edged sword, Julie. That is a double-edged sword. And Linda's saying first impressions of balcony bats. Oh, he's done that one. Do you work for the travel industry? Oh, Jill, do you work for the... Oh, so they're talking about themselves there. Watch every day you're on, and I've done from the start, says Pete and Charm. Thank you. I like the button spiel. It's very annoying sometimes. I like the button spiel. It's very annoying sometimes. Is that this one? Or this one.
You're having too much fun.
Maybe he needs to be drinking. Maybe it's the fact he's not having alcohol.
I actually do need to drink. Yeah, I do need to drink. Okay, there we go. On your top YouTube viewing, and that's some compliment considering how many vloggers we watch. Pete Shaw. Wow, thank you so much.
Oh, nice one.
That really is
Excellent.
good.
We're in the
Thank
top 3. Woohoo!
Anne-Marie, you are such a lovely person, says Zelda. I think you can judge too quickly and get it very wrong, and vice versa, says Alison. That's very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. As long as you don't act, what's the word? Finally. On your,
Okay, just, yeah.
So you reserve judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You do judge, but you reserve
Yeah.
showing your judgment until you've done it.
Yeah, or keep an open mind at
Yeah.
least for possible changes, because I mean our own judging is also stems from our own beliefs, and we have been those beliefs are passed on.
Yep.
Maybe also they come from how our parents have been thinking, and they pass it on to us, and that's why our generation, or we believe maybe certain things about people and nationalities or whatever, the same way our parents believed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So and then if we don't make the effort to look for maybe other possibilities that are out there, and don't keep our mind open for new possibilities, then it's easy to judge and put the label on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also remember, we could be being labelled by others too. I mean, that's the scary
Yeah.
thought, that somebody is actually maybe thinking, oh, don't like them, I'm not going to see them again as well. So
And Maria Albanos says, you are real, genuine people who entertain and inform without any interest, and you also created a lovely virtual community, and that's my great impression.
oh, thank you.
Maria.
Thank you. There's loads down here. I've just got to go pretty quick. Amazing program, love it. Guest Paul from Lancashire. Somebody disagreeing with somebody else there. Education is also quite hierarchical in some industries. I'm way behind, I think. I think bad first impressions is because you are emotionally competitive. That's why you become friends, says Dawn.
It can happen.
Yeah.
It was
can
funny
happen.
watching Tim lose his rag today with a smoker on the walkabout. I think the guy thought Tim was going to deck him. I didn't. Did I lose my rag?
Don't know.
I very
Hey,
rarely
I
lose my
don't
rag.
even know about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, wow. You've
I'll-
been dubbed
I'll-
in.
I haven't watched it back yet, so I don't know.
Well done, Chris.
Come on, now, come on.
That's
what I
Hold
mean.
me, hold me back, hold me back.
Did you do the teeth?
Did the teeth, yeah. That's what our daughter says, isn't it? Our daughter says, I can tell when Dad's angry because he does the teeth.
Well, I thought that's the first time I've seen the teeth, so obviously
Yeah.
you've been lucky.
Yeah, we were.
It's not you. Yeah, but if you live with these two for long enough, you know.
I suppose.
Yeah. No, Tim, it's the... Oh, I see. Oh, Tricia wasn't talking about this button. Oh, okay.
Oh, here
I
we go
won't-
again. Stop indulging yourself.
I won't do it. I won't do it. She was saying, yeah, the people saying press the buttons and stuff. And,
Okay. And subscribe and
subscribe
ding
and
and
all
ding.
that stuff, yeah. No, it is. It's the constant press request. You know, it is important if you want to grow your channel to get people liking and sharing. Sharing is the best thing you can do.
Is it caring?
No, sharing is caring, yeah.
Yep.
But sharing is the best thing you can do, because what then it happens is if you share the video, then YouTube knows that.
Okay.
And pushes it even more. And the comments on here are really, really good. That's good. The likes are good. And however, the number of subscribers is good. But I've told you this before, and I'll tell you again. If you have 5,000 subscribers and you only have 177 people watching, YouTube says, where are the rest?
Because they think you're using a bot or whatever the word is.
Where are the rest of the people, you know?
That's fair enough.
So really, if you are looking to grow your channel, you have to grow your channel with real people.
Fair enough.
And also, our videos get between 1,500 and 2,000 views in the first week. Sometimes they go up if there's a nice topic and they'll watch it. People will watch it on catch up. Weeks later.
Brilliant.
In fact, our best balcony banter in the past year was possession.
Really?
Yeah. Possession.
Isn't it funny?
And I can't even remember what it was about. You know, what was it? Woo-hoo! Or was it?
Oh, was it mine? Mine.
Yeah.
I think it was mine.
It was mine. You do an excellent job, says Tina. We have 4 lovely people on the back of it. Oh, thank you so much.
Well, we inspire each other, I think.
Always love your
Yes.
comments, Jill. See, they even talk amongst themselves, which is what I like. I like the way
Yeah.
that it's the community
Yeah.
has brought people together that have never met.
Mm.
And I'm hoping we're all going to meet out here. Some people have been contacting me about they might be coming over and stuff. And as we've said
Great.
it and say it again, we are going to not limit, but we're going to make ourselves available before the balcony banter, before the Monday show and before the Friday show. So, but we're going to do that when people start actually coming over. So contact me when you're coming over, and if you want to get together, it'll either be sort of 4 o'clock on Monday or 4 o'clock on Friday, and then we'll meet you somewhere, and then you can either stay for the show or you can go in the background or say ta-ra and toddle off somewhere, yeah? So we will be available. Not every Monday and Friday, I don't think, but we will. If there's enough people, we will. But it's a lot of organisation, isn't it, kid?
Of course it is.
Especially for Chris, getting her out of the house and stuff, because you know, got to put her knickers on, because you know you don't see this, but she got no knickers on. No, she doesn't wear. She doesn't
First
wear,
impressions, Tim. First impressions, please.
She goes around the house naked, and then all I do is put a jumper on before and put stick it into the camera.
She rolls around the place. How
She get
do
me.
you
She-
put up with him,
He's
Chris?
a nasty pasty.
He's a nasty pasty. I love it. Yeah, well, he's not wearing his lederhosen either, people. So just
that was below the bell there.
it was because he can't. Not yet.
Because I can't. No. Your style of vlogging, Tim, is a mix of at home on the balcony, but it's also listening to the radio, but with a visual. I love it. Well, thank you. People
Visual
do say,
radio. Oh, I love that.
yeah, people do say that I've got the best face for radio.
Yeah. You and me both.
I hope we can all meet up, hopefully on the October the 10th to the 24th in Las Americas, and
okay, super.
Jill spelt Las Americas correctly.
Well, if you're coming over at that time, Jill,
I'm saying-
hopefully we'll have the Romaria.
Too much information,
that-
people are saying.
Wouldn't that be good?
The too much information, people are saying. This is the no knicker.
Yeah.
No knicker
I told you.
I know.
I told you.
Yeah, I know. Now, basically, I read your comments about 30 seconds late because there's a sort of a delay on this. So, there you go. Yeah, but I was just a joke, by the way. She is wearing knickers.
Yeah. See, I'm just worried about this non-alcoholic beer, Tim.
St. Nicholas, says Stephen. You are St. Nicholas. There you go.
There you
You
go.
are a saint.
St. Nicholas.
Yeah, to put up with me, she has to be a saint, I tell you.
I tell you.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, lad.
Right, it's 18:40. That means we've been on 38 minutes. We've done a good run of first impressions. I think what we want to go into now is the people who are interested in the tarjeta de invitación.
Yeah, and we don't want to annoy people.
And we don't want to annoy people, and we're not. I'm going to introduce this as best I can,
Okay.
and I'm going to introduce it as neutral as I can.
Okay.
So, we were all in the European Union at one point, so Britain and 27 other countries, and we all looked after each other, and we had free movement after a fact. Then Schengen came in, which is an area that had no borders, so there was no border checks, which was a subset of the European Union. And we said non-EU people coming into the EU have to have a certain...
They couldn't just.
They couldn't just come, right?
They didn't have freedom of movement,
didn't have
which was
freedom- right,
granted
exactly.
to European Union citizens.
Right, they didn't have freedom of movement.
Yeah.
So what happened is that if you wanted to come from outside the European Union inside the European Union, you had to have certain things in place. Like you had to have proof that you had a return ticket, for one thing. Then you had to have proof that you had enough money to look after yourself while you were here, and you could stay up to 90 days, right? And in any 180, but we'll get to that in a minute.
When you're saying, we're saying this is not just about British people.
It's nothing to do with British
anybody
people.
who isn't a member of the European Union.
Right. And it's been like that for years.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what happened was they had to do this, and then if they had to show that they had accommodation here, or they were going to stay with somebody, and if they were going to stay with somebody, that person would sponsor them. So if you wanted to get somebody from Nigeria over, or from Ghana,
Or from Australia.
or Russia, or China,
or
America,
Canada,
or anything like that. If you wanted somebody outside the European Union, you had to sponsor them and say, "Yeah, I'll make sure that they're okay, and I will cover their costs if they, if something happens and stuff like that."
Like anybody currently going to the States.
Yeah.
I mean, like nobody actually gets annoyed with the United States of America for insisting they have a visa, that they're going to leave when they say they're going to leave, that they're not going to try and stay and get a job.
Or a visa waiver
Yeah,
program. Or
because
whatever.
it's always been in place.
Exactly. And also Britain has started doing that with European Union people now.
A bit more than telling them what to do, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, there's been a few hiccups there, but I think at the moment it's the same way. And what's happened is after the 1st of the 1st, Britain wasn't allowed in because there was a ban with COVID and all that, right? So now we're opening up again. People have started coming over. Now, if you're booking a hotel, that is perfect. If you're booking a vivienda vacacional,
Basically a registered holiday let. Whether it's
that's
an apartment
no problem,
or a
because
house.
part of the booking process includes informing the police.
Yeah,
right?
basically you're registering as a tourist.
Right, but you're not doing it. You're booking it through a hotel, and the hotel's doing it for you.
They're doing all the paperwork,
Right.
which is what you're paying them to do.
Exactly. And so what's happened now is those of you who decide to come over on a whim, if you like, with just a one-way ticket, and going into your friend's apartment, or you find something on Airbnb or Booking.com that's where the guy says, "Yeah, but pay me cash," and maybe the villa isn't the same name on the gate as it says it's advertised, then alarm bells start ringing.
Yeah.
And what happens is those people who don't stay in registered accommodation now have to have an invitation from the person who owns the property.
Yeah.
And the invitation isn't just a letter saying, "George, come on over." It's actually they've got to go to the police, and there is a copy that we've got printed out here, and we do have a link.
So can we see that?
And you've got to, I think
That's
so.
the form. Now,
That's it.
But if you're the one coming over, you don't have to fill this form out.
No, it's the person who owns
Who's
the property.
inviting you.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
the person who owns the property has to invite you. So all you guys who are run and gun holidays and not packagey type holidays, or people who say, "Well, we'll just nip over there and have a look and maybe run around." If you're not staying in tourist accommodation and you're not an EU citizen, there is this form now which somebody has to fill in for you. Now, I'm going to hand over to CLIO now because she's got the technical details as well, and also she's got the stories of people that we've talked to that might have given us some more information.
And I think the most important thing to say, Tim, is that this is not happening yet, as far as we're aware.
Right.
So
right.
this is going. So we're going to give you this information, and then we're going to tell you it's not relevant. Sorry. It has come to the attention of a lot of us who work with residents who don't speak Spanish, or with people who come here a lot, or people who have second holiday homes coming from non-European countries, which now includes the United Kingdom, that they might invoke a thing called Carta de Invitación, which is the letter of invitation. Now, I have heard from official sources. So I've heard, first of all, somebody told me they asked the police in Tenerife North Airport last week, were they actually asking for this letter? And they were told no. And that at the moment, they are not being instructed to do so. But I've also spoken to someone who spoke to the head of the National Police here, who said it is coming. Okay? So this is something that you might be asked for. Basically, it's called, I said, Carta de Invitación, letter of invitation. Let's say, for instance, to kind of make it into, personalize it a little bit. Tim, if you want to invite your daughter over,
Yep.
and she's coming to stay with you,
Yep.
with at least, I would say, a month's notice, you should go along to the National Police Office, and you need to fill in this form,
Yeah.
which is a form which tells the National Police who you're inviting over, how long they're staying for, where you live. You also need to be a registered resident. So if you're illegally living here, you can't invite somebody here.
If you're illegally living here.
If you're not registered as a resident.
Yeah, but you're not going to go to the police anyway,
No,
if you're illegal.
no. And then they need to actually process it, and then they give you the letter.
And what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is about 10% or less of the actual holidaymakers, right? Because
A very small number.
in fact, it's probably not even 10%, is it?
I don't have the figures, and I'd say they're going to change now because of COVID and everything,
Right.
and because more people are getting registered. And like I say, before everyone goes into a blue funk panic, it's not happening at the moment.
No, right.
Okay, but we are told that they could start asking for this letter. Legally, they could start asking for it today.
Well, I mean, most of the people that come in have got a return ticket, they've got a hotel reservation, and they're
they're
going to
fine.
come on holiday.
Absolutely
there's
fine.
no change in that.
No,
It's
no,
only
whatsoever.
It's only the people who are run and gun.
Saying,
and
my cousin has got a job in a bar in Las Americas. I think I'll pop over and see if I can get a job working with her. I've just got a one-way ticket. I don't have a visa, but I'm just going to chance my arm.
Yeah, and that's the people they want to catch, not the guy who comes over and rents an illegal let by accident.
No.
Right,
There's
okay.
and like I said at the start, if you imagine, think of the paperwork you need to go through to go to the United States.
Right.
And you don't think about it because it's been the norm for so many years.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same, only it's not as complicated in a way. So the person who's inviting you needs to go to the police. The police will process your application for a letter.
Yeah.
They will then give you the letter. So it's a letter in Spanish from the National Police saying that, I don't know what your daughter's name is, that...
It's Stephanie, but she's German, so...
Okay, well then she's got to... Okay, but if you have the other daughter that Chris doesn't know about,
Exactly.
the UK daughter called
Yeah.
Tina.
Tina.
So if Tina then has this letter and the police say that Tina can come and visit, you need to post her the original of that letter.
Really?
It's not a photocopy. She needs to have the original.
Oh, wow. So that
So it's a
means
bit
it's no use doing it the day
complicated.
before.
No. Again, the legal advice is that this needs to be done in advance.
Okay.
Because the person who's coming over needs the original copy of the letter that the police have issued saying that they are allowed come to the country for X amount of time, which has to be
But they are
stated.
asking for the letter for people from Russia and China and Australia.
If they're going to ask for it, they'll be asking everybody for it.
Okay, so basically they're not asking anybody at the moment.
That's it. That's what we're hearing.
Right.
But we are being told again. It's like this big conversation about, do I need to get my TIE card done for residents? This is their new identity card.
Yeah.
People are saying you should get it done. You're not legally obliged to get it done, but life will be easier if you do. So I would say very soon it's going to be the same with this letter. I mean, I remember at Christmas, a friend of mine came over. He spent €150 getting his PCR test and nobody asked to see them. So he was a little bit annoyed. But it was better that he had it and had the paperwork done.
Gotcha. That's the other thing that we're seeing today is that the hotels are still, there's a Canarian law that to enter tourist accommodation, you do need at least an antigen test.
Exactly.
And
not to get off a plane, but to go into a hotel.
To go into a hotel, yeah. So basically, everybody who's coming over with a return ticket and also a reservation for a accommodation should also have a test.
Yeah.
But they are having an antigen test as well.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, again, I saw something online today that Spain will continue to be on the amber list as well for another wee while. Now, that means that you have to quarantine when you return to the UK. Sorry, the UK's amber list. We know that there is still discussions ongoing about whether the Canary Islands, the Balearic Islands can be treated separately as they were last year.
Yeah.
But I have no news on that.
No. There's a couple of questions on here. One is sort of saying, Tim, are you aware there are now hundreds of TIANs? But I don't know what a TIAN is. First impressions. Oh, that's the first impressions one. Present yourself appropriately, Paul in Lancashire. John Brown, well said, Bal. Electoral roll is that, Jill, electoral roll, it's that easy. Okay, sorry. If you, I can't remember what I'm doing now. If you book through bookings.com, I think, I will have proof. Is that valid? Flying Trucker, if you do book through booking.com, and you got a return ticket and you have a receipt for holiday accommodation, and that holiday accommodation is registered, you have no problem whatsoever, because part of the booking system informs the police of who's staying where, right?
Yeah, but it needs to be a
But
registered
if you're paying
location.
cash, and and the villa's a different name on the gate as the one that you booked, then the alarm bell should ring that it's in a legal let and that you're not insured or anything.
Yeah.
So just make sure it's a legal let, and the easiest way to find that out is the VV on the door.
Exactly.
So right next to the front door there should be a big shield
flag,
called VV, and that's Ubi Ubi.
Ubi,
Ubi Ubi, and that's
Vivienda
Viviendas
Vacacional.
Vacacional.
which means holiday home. or
Okay.
Holiday let.
Maria Albanos, that's right, Clio, my host, keep the original and took it with them when collecting my children when I was from Valencia Airport. I showed a printed one via email, sealed and signed by their local police. Cool.
So yeah, so
Cool. I hate typing
So
on the
that's
phone.
interesting that in
Never
the
get to
peninsula
finish
it's
that,
happening.
says Jack Bell. What was it? What was it, Jack? I think he said something here. Jack Bell, Timmy, you're aware there are now hundreds of TNs. And then he says, I hate typing on the phone, never got to finish that.
so Tian maybe means something else.
It certainly does. Tim, I'm sorry I mentioned Carta di Invitazione on Monday's vlog. I obviously, folks need to know so they don't get caught out. Donny, it's something that I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
I also contacted Stuart from Spain Speaks, who's just hit the 50,000
Wow,
mark
well done.
now. He's an Australian living in Madrid, just outside, and he does a daily vlog since the COVID situation. And he was saying he knows about it, but he's not seen any of it that's happening. So
Well, I mean,
don't
like
never apologise for bringing something up.
there is a link on the Spanish government website which has all of the details, obviously in Spanish. But if you type in Carta de Invitación Spain or Invitation Letter Spain, quite a lot of law firms will actually have very detailed information in English.
Okay, cool. Cool. Jack Bell has cleared up the thing now. It says, Tim, I meant to say there are now a lot of Tinas booking your apartment.
Tina, your other daughter.
My other daughter, yeah.
Sorry, Chris. But you knew.
Actually, they're all called Tina.
All right.
All of them.
All of them.
So what if
But
you
does he
travel
know
over
about
a
your
one-way?
son?
Pete and Shell say, so what if you travel over on a one-way flight ticket, not knowing how long you're going to stay for? What's the situation then? You can't actually, Pete and Shell. You have to buy a return ticket to come to Spain from outside the EU.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're
So,
lucky.
yeah,
But
I mean-
you're chancing it.
Yeah, you are chancing it. It's non-EU people, so foreigners, if you like,
Yeah.
have to have a return ticket. It's like any country, really.
Yeah.
It's just amazing that being a part of the European Union was, for everybody, was so normal.
And people didn't know what they were giving up, I think.
We can't say that.
Okay.
We can't say that. What we can say is there are things that are happening now that maybe people went, oh, I didn't realise that was a European law, or that was a European thing, or I didn't know I had that freedom because of the European Union.
Well,
right?
okay.
So it's not that they didn't know what they were giving up. It's basically there were things hidden in the details. So you're right, but I put it the other way, that it's acceptable. A lot of people say they didn't know what they voted for because they're saying the people were stupid.
No, I mean, I don't think
I
that's-
understand that, but
yeah.
that's what some people interpret when you say
Perhaps
that.
certain people were trying to hide the information that might have actually changed people's minds.
But the thing is, you can't hide information. I mean, you can not give it out, right?
Yeah.
But it's up to the individual to be informed. So you are right. It is up to the
yeah,
individual
I
to
mean,
be
that
informed.
is true. As with any election, I'm the kind of person who will generally try and find
Not
out what I'm
only
voting
elections, with anything.
for. Yeah, but if
Yeah,
you're being
yeah.
asked to vote to make
Yeah.
a decision that's going to change
Richard
your
Walton's
status.
got a good question.
Yeah, you're right.
If I
Right.
own an apartment but don't have a TIE, only an NIE, what happens if I ask my son to use the apartment? Okay, before I answer that question, I've just got to tell you the difference between an NIE and a TIE. The NIE is called Numero Identificación de Extranjero, which means the foreigner's number.
Yeah,
And this number is given to anybody.
it's a fiscal number.
It's a fiscal number. So if you go to the police station, or you go in your own country to the Spanish consul or the
Embassy.
then you can get an NIE, and you just have to put your passport in
Yeah.
and get an NIE. They issue the NIE
If you're buying a car, buying a house,
Yeah.
so there was an Irish person asking online earlier.
Right. So,
So-
it's necessary if you want to do anything basically legally over here. A TIE is the Tarjeta de Identificación de Extranjero, which basically means if you're not European, you need a identity card because Spain has an identity card system, and you have to get an identity card.
If you're resident.
Only if you're resident.
Yeah.
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 So basically, if you have a property but you're not resident, you're not allowed to have a TIE.
No, because you haven't declared your intention to be resident here.
Correct,
I mean,
correct.
So it is complicated, and this is one of the very grey areas that I think hasn't been explored much.
Yeah.
Because there are thousands of people who own second properties here and in the rest of Spain, and they now could be in a bit of a pickle because in the past they liked to just fly over. They didn't know when they were coming back. It would depend on what was happening back home in the UK, and they basically don't have that right anymore.
No, but you can still come and go to your own property, but you don't need a tarjeta de invitación.
No, but I don't think so. I mean,
The question was
obviously because
the
you
guy
can't be invited
owns-
to your own place.
Right, but the guy says, "What happens if I give the keys to me uncle or my nephew?"
You might have to have invited him.
But then you have to go to a police station here physically.
I mean, again, my advice would be at the moment is talk to the Spanish embassy
Yeah,
nearest
talk
to
to
where
the
you live,
Spanish embassy. And
because that's where you get your visas to travel
yeah,
to.
the thing is, I don't want to be the person to say the sky's falling, you've got to do all this, and then nobody checks it. Because I mean, bureaucracy in Spain is massive, but also ignoring the rules in Spain is
It's massive.
yeah, is massive.
Yeah,
Massive.
yeah,
So-
and the interpretation and the imposition of those rules
Right.
can depend on the national police body in your local area,
Or what he had for breakfast this
or
morning.
what he had for breakfast
Right.
this morning.
So it is not something that we're going to say the sky's falling, but it's
No.
something you need to be aware of, and it's only good if you inform yourselves. Now we can't give you all the information on specific cases, but we can give you the link to the places where you can go and find out, which I'll put in the description later. There's loads of people questioning on here, obviously. I do apologise if I don't get to everybody.
We knew when we mentioned this it was going to be slightly
did, yeah.
Pandora boxish.
If you have a two-way ticket, maybe that's better, especially only for a week. If you have a one-way ticket, that will raise eyebrows. Correct.
Exactly.
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
Alison.
it is quite often. It's what the guy had for breakfast that morning.
Or our topic that we had before.
Okay.
It ties in really well, I think. Your first impression with that person then
Exactly.
really makes a difference.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
attitude is really key in that sense.
Unless they've been
Yeah.
said, okay, you need to arrest,
Yeah.
you need to send back 10 people. No, they don't do that.
No.
Okay.
they don't do
G.
that.
Murray saying, hi Tim, used to travel on the 30th of the 6th with the family. We live in Northern Ireland, but have an Irish passport. Not sure what we stand technically.
You're European Union citizens.
If
no
you're European
problem.
Union citizens, freedom of movement is still good. You
Yep.
don't need anything. But you do need, if you're traveling from Northern Ireland, you don't even need a test, right?
Now that I'm not sure of because
UK.
You're traveling from the UK, so no, you're
Yeah,
fine.
Don't need a test.
You're but
Irish
you're going as an Irish
Irish
citizen.
citizens from the travelling from. If you've been in
You're
the
not
Republic of Ireland for the previous 14 days,
You will need to
you
declare
will
it.
need a test.
Yeah.
But if you live in Northern Ireland but have Irish passports,
Yeah.
and you
You
haven't
have
been
the best of both worlds,
you do,
possibly
you
at the
do,
moment.
At the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah. So now, oops, that's jumped. So now, yikes, my God. Exactly. No, let me go this. I'm off, guys. See you, JJ. To Irish. Okay. So now instead of booking a one-way flight, you'll have to have an open return ticket. I don't think an open return ticket
No.
it cuts it either. You have to have a specific date that you're leaving. All these people trying to work around the rules. That's fair. You have to make sure that you don't break the rules, but you have to make sure that they are in the best configuration for you. But okay, Pete and Shell, exactly, Tim. People voted the basis of incorrect information. Okay, I can't get into that, Pete and Shell, although I do agree
No.
with you. I'm off too. I can hear Emmerdale calling. Yeah, we've been on 58 minutes.
Here's actually, can I just add a little thing that I've
Yes, you
seen?
can.
Because the information I got today, I did get from a couple of different legal sites. And if Tim's daughter, Tina, overstays her welcome And if she decides to stay longer than is stated in the letter, Tim could get fined as well. So that's something to bear in mind as well.
Tina, stay in wherever you are. Yikes, my daughter is back here in Spain on the 30th of June. She has to return to the UK on the 28th of September. On that date, I will be driving her back to the UK. How does that work?
Is that within 90 days?
It's within 90 days, yeah. 30th of June till the 28th of September.
July, August, September, just.
July, August, September. On that date, I will be driving her back to the UK. As long as you go straight back, how long will it take you from southern Spain? It'll take you 2 days, maybe? Or 3?
It depends on how. If you stop when you cross this to France, and then it depends.
Yeah, the thing is, the 90 days
That's
isn't for Spain; it's for the Schengen area.
Yeah.
So basically, it's the 90 days starts on the day you arrive, and the 90th day finishes on the day that you leave Dover, arrive in Dover.
Yeah, that you exactly leave the Schengen area,
Schengen
which
area,
is the
right.
port of France, of Calais, or wherever you're going
So
from.
be careful on that one, because if she goes through passport control at the ferry terminal or the tunnel, and she's over the 90 days, she will have a strike on the passport and she will never be able to return.
Or, I mean, we don't know never, but it could be, she could be stopped for 5 years. We don't know. We just don't know.
I've been stopped from America for overstaying.
Okay.
Even though I didn't. I arrived twice in 1 year, and because I left through Canada, they never got my little ticket back
To say that you were leaving.
to say I left. And so when I arrived the second time, they let me in. And when I went the following year, it was with work, they said, "Oh, you overstayed last year."
Oh.
I said, "No, I didn't." They said, "Yeah, you came in February and you left in September."
But because you had gone in and out.
I could have gone in and out.
There you
So
go.
I'm not allowed into America on the visa waiver program ever.
Ever.
No,
So,
I have to get a visa every time I go to America.
I mean, it just like we said at the start again, start thinking of Europe more like America rather than your next door neighbours, unfortunately.
Is Northern Ireland classed as EU? Nope.
No. Would you like to speak to Ursula von der Leyen and talk about the protocol a little bit? Because who knows?
Yeah, right. In certain respects, it is EU, and in other respects, it's not EU.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sound is wonderful. Dolby surround. Keep up the great work. Point Lancashire. Oh, thank you very much. I'll just show you what the sound is. This is where the sound's coming from,
Ta-da.
which you guys bought for me. Thank you very much. Oh.
We just went off, did we?
No.
I am soon going to have to go because
No, but I wasn't showing it.
now you are.
There we go. Because you weren't even on camera, you guys. You were looking cool, and you weren't even on camera.
Damn.
God, so let's go 3 up. I'll rephrase that. 3 on the screen. Nobody came in the room, so that was good. We're going to read 2 more things out, and then we're going to start wrapping it up. What if I am a non-resident and my family go to my house for a holiday with a return ticket? How do I fill the form out when I'm not there? Good question.
That's what we're
Julie.
not sure about.
Good. That's the one we're not. And at the moment, as CLIO says, they're not enforcing it, but they say it's coming. So it's something you have to inform yourself about.
And again, my advice would be check with your Spanish embassy.
Check with your Spanish embassy. Yeah. We'll put a link in the description, but at the moment that link only tells you about people coming to visit, people who live here, and second homeowners who are giving the key to somebody else is a one-legged duck.
Man on a skate. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and the last one here. If you live in Northern Ireland with an Irish passport, then it depends what your passport is. It's not where you live; it's where your passport is. But it also means where you're coming from.
Yeah, that like you said, yeah.
Hi from Stuart Allen, photographer and drone pilot. Can't wait for Saturday the 5th of June. Fly out to Fuerteventura. And on that note, Stuart Allen, photographer and drone pilot.
Brum brum.
We're gonna start wrapping it up. So I'm gonna ask Christina, what's your takeaway from today's discussion? What have you learnt, or what have you decided to do different?
I think it all stays the same.
It all stays the same.
Because I don't judge people because I can't see them. So,
It's just quite, advantageous. You got such a good-looking husband, really.
yeah.
Well, what does Tina say though?
Tina is. She's on. Hi, Tina. She says she's just disowned me.
Okay. Well, then she's going to have to find somebody else to sponsor her.
I
Another sugar
know.
daddy.
Her mother is actually Baby Spice.
Okay.
Hi, Emma. Great balcony banter, guys, says Vincent. Great evening. Thank you for all the very useful information, says Lorna. Ian Miller, thanks for the chat, folks. See you later. Bye. Alison, goodbye. Julia. And so they've all started saying goodbye now. I didn't plug my thing in, but I will. No, I won't.
No.
So we're not going to do balcony banter because people are going to go and we're going to eat, I think.
And we'll see everybody next week.
No, I'm going to go round the tables once more. So what's your takeaway from today?
I really stick with Christine. I think she's good on working on her intuition.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
That's a very good first impression to have.
And CLIO.
First impressions are important, but second impressions really matter.
Very profound. And from me, first impressions, I make snap decisions. I always have done. And I read a quote today from Nelson Mandela, who was asked, why do people split themselves up into race and creed and nationalism and nationalities and stuff like that? He says, they don't. People are either good people or stupid people. It's just the stupid people that differentiate between race and colour. And
He was one of the smartest men around.
He was one of the smartest men around. So yeah, don't judge your budgie by its colour. There you go.
And stupid.
Don't judge a Canarian by its tweet.
Don't say And we're going to see you next week on Balcony Banter.
Yeah.
This Friday, we're not going out for dinner because we went out for a dinner at La Casa Nova on Monday. And we can't afford to go out twice a week at those prices. But it was very good food, though. It was very good food.
It was very good.
So we're going to cook at home. And so we're going to have just a Freaky Friday on here. I might have a guest, actually. I've contacted some people, and if they get back to me, I might have a guest, either physically or probably online. And that's that. And tomorrow's walk is Thursday. Yeah? Tomorrow's walk, I've not decided where I'm going, but I'm going to try and do it a little bit earlier tomorrow because I'm not drinking today, and I'm going to go to bed reasonably early.
Nice one.
I might.
Woo.
Exactly.
You always say that.
I know, it never happens. Never happens.
Intention.
I know. So, ladles and jelly spoons, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time. And don't
Bye,
forget
everybody.
that, I'm just going to solo me. Google thinks you might like this one next. And if you want to support the channel, you can press the little button there in the corner. And if you're still not subscribed, consider subscribing. Thank you. Bye.